Hey guys, just listen. You hear little birds? So awesome. Mama's tired this morning. I'm tired, but I'm here. I'm really making sure I start my day with peace as much as possible. And I've already had 2 neighbors, or 3, stop and they were so excited about the bowls. They were like, I want to sit and listen. But some of them were headed to work, you know. And then 3 neighbors, because the third one was this little older couple, so cute. And they were like, we need to do this for the whole subdivision. I was like, yes, we do. So I was really encouraging you guys, because that shows you how many people are realizing they need peace, right? And presence. And they're open to trying new things. So to me, that's collective progress. 111 as I said that. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna just play some sounds for you, okay? Open your hearts to receive love. I was getting a message when I was playing that one. I'm going to talk about it in just a second. I'm going to play one more. They were saying to talk about my jade bracelet. This is koi jade. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. I was feeling a lot of dragon energy this morning as well, so that makes sense. Okay. lot of okay, a lot of forgiveness in the roots. Forgiveness, okay? So did you know when you hold prayer pose, it actually opens your heart? Did you know that? It opens that chakra, that energy center. It expands your electromagnetic energy. So you can go into prayer form if you want to open your heart whenever we do this. But really, whatever's comfortable for you is fine. But in the root chakra bowl that I just played, I was feeling a lot of forgiveness, forgive. And, you know, that can carry many messages. What I was hearing specifically was forgiving, what do you guys want to call it? Yeah, just forgiving the roots for not knowing. Okay, so just, you know, some of you, like me, may carry that feeling of, you know, not resentment, but like frustration is a better word, that so much has had to be overcome and so much has had to be worked on to get to where we are right now. And it can be a lot, right? And that's okay. It's okay to have those frustrations and feelings, right? But when you're ready, forgive it, okay? That way you can move forward. And so I was feeling forgiveness, you know. On the koi bracelet, on the jade, okay, that's that dragon energy. See, koi is the path to the dragon. And I always see like sacred symbols when we do this. Like I'll try to paint them sometimes and post them so that you guys can see what I see. But I'm hearing they're saying just let people know that are not familiar with the energy of dragons. Let them know how many beautiful ancient stories there are of loyal, loving, companion dragons. So that people who may stumble across this and not understand that this is a beautiful, beautiful collective of ancient beings that are guiding us, that have been here since the beginning of our realm, okay? So when you think of your dragon, yes, they are powerful. Yes, they are fierce. Great protectors. Yeah, I'm seeing a vision of a dream I had about a life that I feel like I was some kind of, honestly, like some kind of hybrid, because I was like a water dragon, but when I came on land, I was able to be like human. So, I know there are some legends about beings like that. I didn't know that when I had the dream, but I looked it up. But in that dream, some other dragon group, I'm going to call them, I don't know what, we'll call them Draconian. That's what I'm hearing, Draconian. It didn't look like any dragon I've ever seen. It wasn't like a normal looking dragon, but it was huge. And it had, instead of wings like the way you normally see dragons, it had these crab claws coming out of its back. It was really crazy looking, and it spoke in a language I understood, which in the dream sounded like English, but I'm sure it wasn't. And I was brave enough, even as a water dragon, to go after this thing. I was going to go after him because he was trying to take over our planet. But he was much larger than me, and it was interesting because he didn't come after me. He didn't try to attack me, but what he said really was devastating. I don't know why I'm being called to share this, and then another card just fell out of the deck. Okay. He said, "Why are you fighting me?" He said, "We've already signed a treaty, and your planet belongs to us now." And it felt like it took the breath from my lungs. I was just like, what? Why would they do that? Why would they give our planet over to these people, right? And if I was to translate a message from that to our current time, it would be the feeling of humanity knowing that we deserve something better, okay? and really wanting to come together as a community and wanting to figure out the ways that we need to adjust to in order to create peace. Good morning. Good morning. But feeling like no matter what we do, there's these beings or these people that are deciding for the collective what the collective doesn't want. If I was to take some wisdom from that dream, that's what I'm getting. And they're saying, exactly. I felt like the powers that were making the decisions did not represent the people. Okay? And I'm thanking the dragons for this wisdom right now, what they showed me. Okay? But when you come to that awareness that you have not been properly represented by leaders, okay? Many are already there, some are getting there, and some aren't there yet, okay? But when you do, face those wounds is what I'm hearing. Face that feeling. But don't stay in it forever, okay? You do have to come in and sort of temper that rage with love and hope, okay? Because the reason why God wakes us up is because we can do something. We weren't awakened because we are powerless. No, we are not powerless, okay? We were awakened because we're powerful and that we're willing to stand. See, even as a smaller, younger dragon than this guy, whoever he was, I was willing to fight him. I was going to fight you guys. I was like, I'm going to fight. I'm not taking my planet. You know what I mean? So, small but mighty. But the point is, we can do something, right? And the beautiful thing about where we're at now as a collective is just using our voice is so powerful. Just speaking up about things that we want to see change, and this can be presented in a positive way, like for instance, if you have something that really bothers you about your community that you feel is oppressive or, harmful in some way, talk about it. But then as you talk about it, please also have an idea of a solution. See? And share that in your comments. Or share that if you make little videos like I do. That way, you're not just talking about the problem, okay? Which is fine. But you're offering an idea for how we maybe can fix it, right? And as we do that, we're speaking that into the quantum field. Remember that. There's your quantum science, okay? You're speaking an idea that could work into the quantum. And you never know who's going to hear it, guys. You never know. Might be someone that can really help you with this. Sorry, I know I got my little, it's so bright. Let me just turn it. Is that okay? Let's see. Let's see if that works better. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle these dragon cards. I'm going to pull you guys a little dragon card. They're saying do this one first. Hang on. Hey, Sammy. My kitty's out here with me. Hey, Mama. That's my girl. All right. Okay. Let it come forth. Can you see that? I know it's so bright. Okay, I'm going to hold it where y'all can hopefully see it. Can y'all see that? Let it come forth. It says, give yourself permission to feel it. So what we were just talking about. Literally. Become aware. Listen to the wisdom of the body. And I'm going to tell you something. If any of my listeners are perimenopausal, is it perimenopausal? I think so. Which I feel like I am. Whew, yeah, you'll have to listen to your body then. It'll shut you down. Know the way. Trust your intuition on this journey. Look at this, you guys. I hope you can see these. If not, I'll try to take a picture of them later. They're beautiful. Know the wisdom of this journey. Maybe if I try to move it. Sorry, it's so bright, and I'm so glad. Oh, that's better. Okay, here. Know the wisdom of this journey. Trust your intuition. Your intuition's going to lead. And what that looks like, okay, like my husband and I, this year, we decided to homeschool our children, so we did. So this was our first year doing this, okay? Trusting your intuition, I'm going to use that as an example. I could not explain why to my husband I wanted to pull them out of regular school. There were different little things that were bothering me, not about the school in general, but like about the system more so. But overall, I just kept saying, look, I don't have all the answers. I don't, but it just doesn't feel right anymore. It doesn't feel right, Something's not right about it. It's not teaching the real story. I know that from my ancestors. My ancestors are telling me lies, 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 okay? So the history being taught is not real, okay? It's not accurate. And also I felt like they're like just training the kids just to be little worker bees and not to think for themselves. Do you know that even when I was in school, I used to hate it in literature when you would read a book and you would be, your assignment would be to like write a review of it. And then you would be poorly graded if you didn't get the same interpretation of that book that the general collective has. And I was like, how's that wrong? I read it. This is my perspective. And you're grading me poorly because I have a perspective. You see the programming there? Like no one's allowed to have their own thoughts or their own feelings. I don't like it. So I told my husband, I was like, we're pulling him out. We have to do it. I feel it, right? That's what trusting your intuition looks like. Not knowing all the reasons why, but letting it come forth, becoming aware, trusting your intuition, okay? All right, it says, you know the way. Dragon. Okay. What is it, guys? I've never pulled this one before. Let's see. This one's called The Pest. It says, those stressful details. Sorry, I'm going to pause it with this noise. Okay, sorry guys. Those stressful details, the unwelcome news, the nagging anxious thoughts, all are pests that we'd prefer not to keep us company. But nothing shows up in our experience that isn't on our side. Challenges happen for you, not to you. And as they attempt to shape the person your soul wishes you to become. Embrace them as a guest of your life. As Rumi once said, this being, human, is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. This is what it looks like. Look how beautiful. See the little bug on his nose? But guys, this is really true. There's some wisdom in this for sure, because all of the most important changes that I've had in my life have come from first an annoyance, okay? Where I'm like, I can't, Jesus, I just can't. So when the annoyance comes though, it's meant to teach you something, right? It's meant to take you somewhere. It's meant to help you see. It is an act of love, okay? So, and we're at a stage in human, I'm going to say history, but it's really currently happening. Like right now, we're at a stage where we're seeing all the annoyances, all the triggers, right? We're getting all the triggers, big and little, and everything in between. But if we looked at it like a teacher that's shining this mirror in our face, making us see where we are unhealed as individuals and as a collective, then we can use that, we can catalyze that, okay? That's what ancient alchemy was about, taking one thing and creating another, okay? So, the artist, look, perfect one. What does an artist do, right? They create something beautiful by bringing together lots of different elements. And I'm seeing like a friend of mine from years ago. He was, I don't know what you would call this, but he would create art from scrap metal, like whatever he could find, spoons, tin cans, whatever he had, and he would go in his shop and just make things, and it would turn out like amazing, okay? And he's pretty well known, for like locally for this kind of creative art. But that's a good example of what the artist can do, right? You can take all these little annoyances, all these little things, and if you allow it to transmute through you, if you allow your voice to speak about it, and then offer a suggestion to the collective that you think might be helpful, okay? You'll begin to transmute it. And I use my art, I paint, as you guys know. as a form of expression of what I'm channeling through spirit. And so the beautiful thing about that is when I show a picture to the collective on my page, or when someone comes into my business and sees it, it's helping them. It's helping them in so many ways, and they don't even realize it yet, right? Okay. The listener. Okay, sacred number 13 in the upside down position. Yeah. So I just said this to someone yesterday. A friend of mine came in and said, "What are your angels saying?" And I said, "They're saying, give them 5 minutes a day of listening. Just 5 minutes." The universe is in constant conversation and wants to communicate with you. See, they want to talk to you. Your team, your spirit team wants to help you. No topic is too trivial or too grand, and you are invited to receive the insights, directives, and guidance it has to offer. You become a part of that conversation by deep listening. Go somewhere quiet. Sit with your spine against the gnarled grandeur of an old tree, or with your feet in a whispering brook, or stroll through a lush garden of humming flowers. Listen to the song of the bees, the sigh of the leaves, to the rippling stories of the water, the wings of invisible dragons. Clear your mind so the conversation can begin. Listening is a form of invocation. Yeah, so you know how they say there's sacred silence, just like there's sacred speech, right? In the silence you can receive better. And by silence, it's not about like silencing your voice, it's really about silencing the mind, okay? The worries, the fears, the anger, all the things that are kind of on this little hamster wheel in our mind. This is why the body is so important, guys. The becoming aware of the body. See, and I'm hearing, so someone, who is it? Okay. Someone is, their mind is so active, basically, that they're not getting the messages of the body. And that comes from, prolonged stress and fear and just trying to survive, you guys. And when we get in that place, which many of us are and have been, even if it's not now, but like maybe in our childhood. Let me pull an inner child card because I was called to bring that forth today. Hold on. Where is it? Oh my gosh. Hold on. Guys, I don't know what to do with it. Didn't mix up the little decks. This is so funny. Let me just flip the page. How about that? Where do you guys want it to be? Yep. There you go. Number 25. Listen. So, can't make this stuff up. Our inner child is comprised of the many different aspects of childhood we experienced growing up. There is a 1-year-old inner child, a 10-year-old, an 18-year-old, and an inner child of every age in between. At various times in our lives, different aspects of our inner child will need to be heard. This card indicates that an aspect of your inner child, one that you may not have met with yet, has a message for you. Take time to connect with this new piece of you through inner visualization, responsive journaling, play, or intuitive art. Here's the art again, guys. Many times in life, we repress aspects of our inner selves in a bid for safety. What did I just say? It's all about survival, right? Out of the need for survival, we silenced ourselves. And so had many of our ancestors. Wow, it's so beautiful. I see like this beautiful flowing light. So beautiful, you guys. So many times in life, we repress aspects of our inner selves in a bid for safety. When events occur in our childhood that we cannot manage or understand, they can become suppressed aspects of ourselves. Because of this, our inner child might bring might bring unprocessed events and memories for us to work through as an adult. And that's understandable, right? Maybe your life is more stable now. You're more, in a safe place where you can face these things that your inner child couldn't face, right, at the time. Especially if you went through extreme abuse, or even just parents that wouldn't let you speak. Think about, like, even in my childhood, parents were groomed by their parents to not let the children speak, right? It was considered talking back to your parents. But if you don't give your children a voice, see, then they're going to get walked all over. And that's what happened to so many in my generation and the generation before me. Okay? So if this occurs, be gentle with yourself and have patience. These memories and events will most likely be sensitive in nature because of how long our inner child has carried the pain of that moment. Give yourself plenty of time to sit with whatever comes up, setting aside the practice of processing these old memories. If it becomes too overwhelming, if it becomes too overwhelming, you can seek professional help. I say that a lot in my videos. Get a therapist, you guys, or like a hypnotherapist like me, or someone that can help you with those feelings, okay, in a safe way. And so the questions for journaling, you can ask yourself, is there an aspect of your inner child that you do not wish to meet, like something you don't want to see, because that's usually what we need to see. Is there a way to create space for that aspect to come forward today? So if there's something that you're being called to heal that you haven't wanted to face, ask if there's a way. Ask Spirit if there's a way to do this in a gentle approach and face that inner child, okay? I got one more, guys. Y'all, we've been doing this dragon thing. Look what came up. Dragon power. You guys, I love it. I'm going to read this one to you because I haven't pulled it before in this deck. Sacred number 11. Wow. Butterfly spirit transformation. Wow. This is beautiful. Wild rose fairy love. Look at this. And the rose always makes me think about Mary Magdalene. Okay, so, and she's my primary teacher, and very connected to dragons, by the way. So, all right, dragon power. You've fallen asleep on the forest floor. The night was cold as you snuggled into some leaves. Yet you felt warm and comfortable as you slept. In the early morning, you stretch and open your eyes to find a dragon has lovingly wrapped himself around you in the night. Wow. He opens his large eyes and looks at you with kindness and compassion, as you know that all is well. That's beautiful. See, that's support. You guys, you have support to face your inner child. You have support to go in and do this intuitive healing, okay? This intuitive journey. This card suggests that it's time to step into your power. Take charge of your life. Hold on, I'm going to pause it. Sorry, guys. Okay. Take charge of your life. Look to see if there's anyone in your life who's trying to run the show. Speak your truth and take back authority of your own life. You're ready to stand in your strength. If you've lost or given away your authority to someone or something else, it's now time to reclaim it. If you're holding on to limiting beliefs, or if you're afraid of being shunned, judged, or ostracized, see, that's why a lot of people haven't spoken up. They're afraid of being judged by the community for their inner feelings, okay? So this is very timely. It's time to let go of those limitations. Release any fear of misusing your gifts. True strength doesn't dominate or manipulate. It's a gift from the Creator that dwells within you. You have the spiritual power that's born of sacred love, wisdom, and grace. This ability can heal others and bring light into the darkness. You are a radiant, glorious being. Guys, how beautiful. Dragon Spirit, as your guide, is a mighty ally. He empowers you with healing and restorative abilities. He helps you overcome any obstacle and he protects you in all areas of your life. The spirit of the dragon says, within you dwells the remarkable power to manifest your dreams, gain great riches, and activate ancient wisdom. Take back your power and express your strength with grace. Wow, you guys. Wow. Beautiful. Okay, let me read this one to you guys, because this one's new. Butterfly spirit. Okay. You receive this card when you're in the process of change. Old structures, beliefs, and ideas are falling away to be replaced with vitality and new pathways. Soon you'll be seeing the world in a fresh way. You're at the beginning, in the middle, or at the completion of an enormous transformation of your life. Don't hold on to old structures and limiting ways of thinking. That's so important. Even if it looks as if you're in murky waters and things feel confusing. And even if it seems that everything is dissolving around you, that is only the clearing that occurs just before rebirth. It's all for your highest good. Remember, you are safe as these changes occur around you. The butterfly is a powerful metaphor for transformation. For it to gain its wings, the caterpillar must weave a chrysalis and then completely dissolve into the shape of a butterfly. Completely dissolve into a kind of liquid soup before reforming into the shape of a butterfly. Enzymes dissolve all of its tissues, guys, oh my God. And before it metamorphoses into something completely different. So relax into change. You are bringing vibrant energy into the world. The spirit of the butterfly says the past is behind you. Everything is changing. It's time to launch a new cycle, a new project. With care, miracles can abound. You guys, that's freaking awesome. What an awesome example of how painful change can be, but how purposeful, right? And by painful, I usually am referring to emotional pain, although sometimes physical, right? But yeah, it's okay. The butterfly just trusts. It just goes in and completely changes itself. I mean, come on. That's what a catalyst for change. This beautiful, beautiful butterfly. That's so powerful. Okay. 47. Wild Rose Fairy. The scent of the wild rose is heady. The perfumed fragrance swirls around you and flows directly into your heart. With each inhalation, your heart opens even wider and deeper. The soft pink color of the petals contrasts with the dark, shiny leaves. Fluttering among the blossoms is a kaleidoscope of butterflies. Here's the butterfly again. Magic is in the air. Love is all around you. Open your heart to receive. All of life's experiences are a splendid part of a spiritual evolution toward the realization that we are all love. In matters of romance, there is healing right now. You are a sacred vessel for love to flow through you, to others, and to the universe. Healing has occurred. Healing is occurring, and healing will occur. Beautiful. Your angels, guides, spiritual guardians, and allies adore and cherish you. If only you could see yourself the way those in spirit see you. You would know how profoundly and deeply loved, cherished, and adored you are. Be open to allowing the Creator to solve your challenges in wondrous ways. Trust that everything is unfolding graciously and perfectly in your life. The opposite of fear is love. Allow fear to dissolve as love expands. The spirit of the wild rose says, you are more cherished than you can possibly know. That's beautiful. Open your heart to receive. Love is on its way. You are an eternal vessel for love to flow through. You are enough just as you are. Wow, you guys. And it feels like maybe in your childhood, that message of not being enough is what you experienced. Maybe you were always trying to please someone in order to ensure your survival, okay? Or in a marriage. You know, that could have happened in a marriage that you went through, or even in friendships, okay? But that's kind of the whole point, is letting those unhealthy things kind of dissolve, like the way the butterfly did, right? You know, removing people from your life, your immediate circle, that aren't actually for you and aren't helping you, and seeing the need to be yourself, okay? As much as you can, as authentic as you can. And authenticity requires honesty, okay, with yourself. And it doesn't mean that everybody's going to like what you have to say or how you feel. It doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to be popular, okay? But remember, if you are on a path to awaken, popularity isn't the process. See, waymakers are different from the collective, okay? And that can be that can look a lot of different ways. It does not have to be someone in spiritual practice. It can be anybody. But waymakers came here to shine, to stand out, to be different. This is also why sometimes we feel lonely, because we don't always have a lot of people that understand us, right? But that's why connection to spirit is so important. See, your spirit guides understand you. And they're right there with you. And they're not judging you. They just love you, okay? And that gives you the support you need. And eventually, when you step into your authenticity, you will eventually find some who do understand you. That's kind of like your little gift from spirit. But guys, even when I didn't have anybody, like as far as like out here, like one time last year, I think it was last year, I was out. My neighbors love it when I sound tune, by the way. So, and I'm so thankful for that. But one time I was on the side yard meditating in the sun and just like listening to my guides and moving my body, a lot of somatic movement for healing. You can look up somatic movement if you don't know what that is. It's so good for clearing trauma and pain out of the body. But I was doing that, and part of me was scared, like I didn't want to be seen, because my spiritual process is very personal for me. A lot of the healing that I do on myself, I do by myself. I don't do a lot of, sessions for myself with other people or anything like that. I just work with my team and Mary Magdalene. But anyway, something told me, go in the side yard and do this. Your neighbors need to see how to connect to nature and don't worry about them judging you. And I was like, okay. So I did. I had faith, right? And I did it. Well, anyway, this guy rolls up out of nowhere and on a hoverboard thing, literally rolls up. He comes, stands beside me, and he says, "Good morning. I love you." He comes and stands beside me, and he says, "Okay, what are we doing?" I'll do yoga with you in the side yard. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And I just went with it. I just trusted spirit, and I guided him through a heart connection meditation. And we had the best little time. And he was young, maybe 22 or something like that. Could have been my kid, And he when we finished the meditation, he looked at me and he says, "You really do love humanity, don't you?" And I was like, "I do." And I can't even remember everything he told me about this, but he told me his name, which his name means light. His name was Luca. And I told him my name, and I said, "But my angel sometimes calls herself Mira, like miracle." And he said, "Okay, Mira." And I had asked him what he was doing here, by the way. And later on, I realized I was talking to an angel, okay? But he looked just like a 22-year-old man that came to meditate with me in the side yard because I had faith. He said, "I'm here on pest control for 4 months." And I knew. As soon as he said that, I was like, something's going on down here in New Orleans. And God was sending angels to clear it up, okay? This was last year. When he left, okay, and he absolutely 100% was sent by God, I couldn't even see clearly for an hour. That's how much light I encountered with this being, okay? And I actually talked to a friend. I called her on Zoom right away, and the whole time I was talking to her, her face looked purple because that's all I could see. So, guys, take a leap of faith, okay? Do something you love and don't worry about being judged, because people need to see what it means to be authentic, okay? What it means to do what you love. You can do these things in private, and that's what I normally do, okay? That's fine. But don't be afraid to do some things in public too, and let people see your method of connecting to spirit, because they need it, you guys. They don't have a really good method, I promise you. They don't, because they haven't been taught how to receive messages from God. So that's what I have for you all today. The Wild Rose Dragon Tribe, folks. I love y'all so much. Have an awesome day. I'm sorry, I know the lighting was kind of crazy today, but the sun is so bright, which I'm thankful for. So, and thank you for being here and listening. And please go to one of my channels, YouTube especially, because I feel like it's easy to share YouTube videos because most people have it on their phone, whereas not everybody has TikTok. But either one, please like and share, okay? If you like the message and you feel like it helped you, have enough love in your heart for humanity to share it, because maybe somebody else needs to see it too, okay? This is how we can work together as a collective. See, maybe you are too shy to do a video like this right now. Maybe one day you will. But you can still share it, right? I'm putting it out there. You don't have to do anything. Just share it, okay? 111 as I said that. So, all right, guys. Let's heal ourselves and heal the world. I love you.